And welcome to our final game of the night. It is the boys Quad A semifinal between Miller Grove and Jonesboro. Miller Grove coming in at 21-9, the #1 ranked team in the state, #1 in their region. They did lose 9 games, but out-of-state contest, Oak Hill, teams from Florida and Nevada, Scott, so they have been tested all season long. Jonesboro coming in 26-4, the 5th ranked team in the state.
Yeah, and Miller Grove's about as decorated a program as you'll ever see, a 4A monster. Their 5th consecutive Final Four appearance. They're also the 3-time defending state champion at that 4A level, looking to add a 4th in a row. They also start 5 seniors, have the #1 center in America in Tony Parker, and probably the top small forward in this state in Brandon Morris.
Jonesboro wins the tap. Peace with the basketball. Gives way to Sutton. Shot up and no good. Rebound inside by Okeke. Ball loose out here by the mid-court stripe, and the Wolverines coming out of there with it. Miller Grove on the run, up and in. Tony Evans has the first bucket of the ball game.
No doubt Jonesboro will like to play a faster style of game, kind of muddy this game up a little bit. Miller Grove would like to slow it down and get the ball to their bigs.
And right away, a couple of turnovers create some transition buckets. That one by Justin Colvin, and it's 4-0 Miller Grove.
Yeah, as I say that, they force 2 turnovers and get out and run. Miller Grove can do it all.
Peace gives way to Sutton. Sutton puts it on the floor, trying to work off a pick from Okeke, and now they'll reset things.
Of course, it's worth noting, Dave, these 2 teams met here the exact game last year. Miller Grove escapes Jonesboro 65-52. So Jonesboro has redemption on its mind.
Tony Evans gets the steal, gives it to Christian Houston, and the point guard will run things. Back over to Evans. They want to try and get the ball inside to big Tony Parker. Parker matched up against Okeke, Jonesboro's big center. Brandon Morris, the ball on the baseline, trying to back his way in, gets a nice little left-handed look, won't go for him. Parker there for the rebound, strong take. A lot of contact, but it goes in, and it's 6-0 Miller Grove.
18 points, 13 rebounds, 3.5 blocks per game for Tony Parker this season.
Here's Sutton working with the basketball against Christian Houston. Pass across to Walker. Walker gives it back. Driving up and in, and the first bucket is Cameron Sutton for Jonesboro. And it's 6-2.
Well, if they have an edge, it's there in the backcourt with their quickness. And that's going to be an offensive.
Big man tries to take it in there. Tony Parker did, but
Jonesboro does have great foot speed in the backcourt. Cameron Sutton, you saw him get to the hoop there. Big-time football prospect. Offers from Arkansas, Georgia Tech, Kentucky, to name a few. Daniel Peace, awfully quick and agile in the backcourt, as is Patrick Petty. Really 3 guards in the backcourt for Jonesboro.
Peace bringing it up the floor. Working against Justin Colvin. 3-pointer short. Rebound made by Tony Parker. Miller Grove wants to run it down the lane. Athletic grab and put up, no good. And ball ripped out of there. Nice steal, and here come the Cardinals the other way. And a strong finish, and it's 6-4.
Yeah, you said it, a huge play there from Daniel Peace to strip Tony Parker. Comes down with another big offensive rebound. Peace, though, able to get his hands in there from behind and strip the ball from the big man.
Here's Colvin with it. Back to Houston. They go down low to Parker. Parker fadeaway, drains it. And he loved that shot. 8-4. Miller Grove doubles up early on here. 4:24 to go in the first quarter of our final game of the night.
Well, he has so much size and strength that he can fade away and create space like that for himself all night should he want to. Of course, Okeke will live with that.
And nearly a turnover.
And here you see the wide body and just overall girth of Parker creates a ton of space when he turns around here, and he gets that shot up easily over the tall, long Okeke. Be an important first quarter here for Jonesboro. Miller Grove has absolutely destroyed its opponents. 217 to 115 here in the postseason. That's an average of 72 to 38 per game, a 34-point margin in 3 games thus far.
Yep, didn't have a tough game until Marist last game. Here's another turnover, a pass ahead. Miller Grove cannot run it down. Christian Houston ran out of court. And now they may say it was last touched by Jonesboro. That's a big break.
Yeah, it looked like he got there just in time, tried to save it. And when he did, Jonesboro got a hand in there to knock it out.
They'll inbound it to Parker, working hard. Puts it up, count it. And that's why all kinds of Division I schools are looking at this kid.
And it's rare that you see someone that big, that strong, also have the skill and finesse to go with it. You've already seen a bunch of big rebounds from the strong Parker, but a couple really nice turnaround jumpers as well.
Sutton with the basketball, makes a nice move and up and in. That was a pretty play.
Cameron Sutton is a tremendous athlete. In addition to being a great basketball player and football player, his coach, Mailman, says he could be drafted as a center fielder as well.
Here he goes. Misses that one. It was challenged, but the stick back by Cedric Nettles, the senior, and it's now a 10-8 ball game. So and again, Jonesboro getting some transition buckets.
And that's how they're going to stay in this game. Speed it up, use their quickness and transition, their overall athleticism out on the perimeter to beat Miller Grove down the court.
Houston with it, goes cross court to Morris. And here's Colvin. He's going to launch a 3 and leave it well short. Here come the Cardinals. They don't have numbers, but a pull-up, no good, and a rebound away to Miller. Well, I said that, but then nearly saved by the Cardinals, but Miller Grove will end up with a basketball here. 2:30 to go in the first quarter. 10-8 our score. Miller Grove with a 2-point lead.
Yeah, you made an interesting point. They didn't have numbers there, but they're going to run no matter what. Not only to get into the paint, but also like the 3-point shot in transition a lot. You saw them get one there.
Houston working the perimeter. Gives away to Devontae Provost, who's just gotten in there. There's a pass inside. They try to go with the alley-oop, and that was cut off by Okeke, But then they turned it over on the outlet pass.
Yeah, just trying for too much there was Cedric Nettles, the 6-foot senior, has signed to play football at UT Chattanooga. Looked for Brandon Morris on that alley-oop play.
Pass inside. Nice drive, but it wouldn't go for Evans. And here come the Cardinals again in transition. Inside the little man, but he can't get it off. Sutton's shot blocked. And Miller Grove on the move. Nice pass ahead and a nice finish by Tony Evans. Just out jumping everybody.
Great lob pass over the top of 2 defenders there from Brandon Morris. Really nice play from the future Bulldog. Georgia Bulldog, that is.
Exactly.
And I called Christian Houston Cedric Nettles. I should make that correction.
And there's a nice drive up and in by Peace. 12-10 the score. Miller Grove's going to slow it down here for the final minute of the quarter with that 2-point lead. Morris. Inside they go, and there's the lob inside to the big man, and Tony Parker, an easy bucket for him.
Well, who's going to be able to impose their will more? The backcourt quickness and athleticism of Jonesboro, or the tough front court play of the Wolverines? No surprises here in the first.
4-point lead here for Miller Grove. Final half minute of the first quarter. Cardinals are going to run down the clock here and get the final shot off. If all goes as planned. Nice drive and a kick out, an open 3. Well done, but just couldn't finish. Okeke up by the rim, couldn't get it done. And now here's Miller Grove with 8 seconds to go. They have time to set something up. Nice give and go inside. Big man with a flush as time expires. Wow.
And what a play. Brandon Morris, nice little underneath pass to Devontae Provost, and then a quick pass from Provost. You'll see right here to Tony Parker. What a great 3-man exchange there. And ends in a powerful dunk.
And you see the light go on just in time. So 16-10 our score at the end of one. We'll take a timeout. We'll be right back with quarter number 2. What's up?
Can you look at us an official roster for Jonesboro?
And we'll start the second quarter. Miller Grove will inbound the basketball with a 6-point lead. Christian Houston. Jonesboro gets it on the turnover. They're trailing it by 6 here. Working the backcourt is Peace. He'll call the play. They try to set up some of his bigs underneath. Okike flashed open for a minute. There's a nice drive down underneath, and that one is rejected. Pinned against the glass by Brandon Morris. And nearly a steal on the reach-in by Peace. But a foul, and Justin Colvin. Here's a look at that highlight again. Nice drive and a leave, and then boom, against the glass. And Miller Grove back on the attack. Point guard Christian Houston averaging 6 assists per game. Now they want to get it inside, and they do. There's Okike with a nice knockaway. He's got his hands full underneath with Tony Parker. There comes a substitute in. Number 13 is Earl Bryant. His best game was in the first round against New Manchester when he put up 9 points. Steal underneath. And out of there comes John Walker with it. Cardinals on the attack. Shot off the iron and a rebound, Miller Grove. And they'll reset with Houston. And the long three-pointer is no good by Bryant, who just got in there. And Patrick Petty with the basketball now. Daniel Peace, the point guard, will set things up. Stop and go move. Got inside, kicks out for the open three, and off the rim, no good. Rebound away to Morris. Here comes Houston in the corner underneath, and the big man with the jump hook, and nice defense by Okike. But Miller Grove gets the rebound. They can reset now. And they'll call it travel. Just got a little too excited on the pump fake. Jonesboro is going to take a timeout and talk about things. They trail it here 16-10 with 6 minutes to go. A little bit under in the first half.
Good start, though, for Jonesboro. Have done exactly what they set out to do, and that's get out on the fast break. Also find the open shooters when you can. Dribble drive, look to kick out to open shooters, especially on that last possession. Found someone wide open. in the corner for a three, exactly where a shooter wants the ball. Wasn't able to connect, but the idea was there. If Jonesboro wants to do anything better, it's probably handle Tony Parker with a bit more success, though that's a lot easier said than done. Starts with denying the ball to the post to begin with. Once he's got the ball, you're gonna have a tough time slowing him down. You gotta front him in the post, deny the ball getting there. You'll have more success if you can do that.
And Okike's an athletic looking fella. He just doesn't have the meat on him to keep up with Tony Parker.
Not many do. And of course, we named all the schools after Parker. Mike Krzyzewski, the legend from Duke, legendary coach, I should say, has been to Miller Grove High School at least 4 or 5 times this year alone just to sit and watch Tony Parker play. Anytime you get a head coach on your school campus that many times in a year, you know you're pretty good.
Yep. It's about every program in the top 25.
That's an assistant coach's job.
Here's Sutton with it. Thought about going inside. Now he goes cross court to Patrick Petty. Petty, right-handed dribble inside, gets around. Parker puts it off the rim, no good. Rebound, that one's blocked. Ball loose in the lane. Everybody's diving on it. We got ourselves a jump ball. No, a timeout. Jonesboro got the ball and then called timeout. Heady play by Patrick Petty. And Cardinals keep it. Cardinals 26-4, beat Griffin on the way here, got by Brunswick and Lovejoy. They tied Lovejoy with for the regular season title in Region 4, and then North Clayton got him in overtime in the finals.
5 juniors starting for this Cardinals team, so wouldn't be surprised to see him back here next year. Of course, they had Rasham Suarez last year, one of the leading scorers in this state, headed to Georgia Southern, so they're here despite losing one of their top scorers. In fact, their top scorer from last season.
Cameron Sutton had a good look that time, just couldn't finish it. But the Cardinals keep it on the tip out. And Sutton gets to inbound it. Trap in the corner, but they break that. Open three. Look at the perimeter passing. That's nice. Boom. Cameron Sutton nails the three.
Well, you said it. Great passing, quick ball movement on the perimeter, but what allowed for that passing was great floor spacing. Had 3 guards, 1 up top, 2 in the corners, and spread that floor about as wide as you could, and it created a ton of space and a wide open look from 3 as a result.
And we'll get a look at it again.
All that space, open court.
Draw the man, Sutton, the man who made the inbounds pass, just sneaks along the baseline. He was wide open in the corner.
And Christian Houston, the man defending, nowhere to be seen on that play.
Parker's inbounds pass is picked off. Here come the Cardinal. Sutton stripped from behind. Pass ahead. A 3-on-2. Miller Grove and finish with the jam. Now the officials blew the whistle because there was a player underneath the basket.
Looked like that was an off-the-ball foul.
Or perhaps there was a foul. I thought he whistled dead just because there was somebody underneath the shooter.
I think they're going to call the foul off the ball. Obviously, it was a defensive foul. Someone threw Tony Parker to the ground. And it should have been before the basket. And I believe that's what they're going to say.
That is. Morse with a nice finish.
The whistle came after the basket, but the foul transpired for sure before it. So the right call there after discussing it from the refs.
Open three and drained by Justin Colvin. And an 8-point lead now for Miller Grove.
12 points per game on the season for Colvin, and just way too open on that shot attempt for Colvin. Jonesboro's got to get out there and contest the 3 much faster than that.
Peace and Petty just throwing it back and forth at the top, looking for somebody underneath. Here's a pass to the corner for Sutton. Back out to Peace. Tried to go inside. Just too much length there in the lane from the Wolverines. Sutton back to Peace. Tricky dribble, has to give it back, and they're shut off again. Here's Petty with a drive. Can't get it in there. Had to arc his shot to get over the defense, and Miller Grove on the run again. Wolverines inside and rejected. Okibi, now it's a 1-on-2 and nice leave and finish. Well done, Daniel Peace gets the bucket.
Yeah, great job there. Good heady awareness from Cameron Sutton. Knew he didn't have a good chance to go up and connect on that fast break opportunity, so dropped it off for the trailing Peace, I believe.
He did. Morris tried to go in for the block and ended up with nothing. Here's Morris on the crossover baseline, draws the foul and puts it up. We'll get here's a replay of that breakaway. Okike gets it started with the block. You can see Morris just waiting on the block. Nicely done and finish.
Got it to his second trail.
So Morris on the line, left-handed, knocks it down. Back up to a 7-point lead for the Wolverines.
And the real Cedric Nettles checks into the game. Misspoke earlier, confusing him with Christian Houston, but he, in fact, is this Cedric Nettles committed to play football for UT Chattanooga.
All right. And big man gets it underneath Tony Parker. Rebound and foul, and he'll get a couple of free throws. 3 minutes to go here in the first half, 3:07 to be exact. We've already got a Southwest DeKalb Miller Grove matchup for the women's title or girls high school title. We may have the same matchup in the boys final.
Could be a long day for fans of the two teams. Show up here on Friday and just stay.
Yep. And Tony can't convert the free throws. 22-15.
Of course, should we get a Miller Grove Southwest DeKalb matchup in the boys game, you get a great matchup of bigs as well. Shaq Goodwin versus Tony Parker, and they would certainly go head-to-head.
Wolverines in the 3-2 zone now.
Both are McDonald's All-Americans, it's worth noting.
Jonesboro trying to make something happen, but the defense just has them locked out. Almost start hitting some threes.
Almost reminiscent of Syracuse, that long perimeter zone defense makes it very hard to penetrate.
There's a three off the pick, just what the doctor ordered from Cameron Sutton.
You can shoot Miller Grove straight out of that zone if you can connect on some of these threes. It's the one thing the zone allows.
Houston's thought about a three, or at least faked it. Picks it back over here to Colvin. Wants to go inside, but they've got double teams on Parker. Quick pass inside and a rejection, but I think Morris may have drawn a foul. Morris, like you said, going to Georgia, putting up 13 points a game this season.
And he's done a really good job of taking advantage of the little height Jonesboro has in that paint. Really reminiscent, I spoke about Syracuse, reminiscent of Georgetown in this case. 4-guard type lineup, one big. Of course, Parker's occupying Okike, and there's really no other big to deal with the 6'8" Brandon Morris. And as a result, he's taken what is ordinarily a perimeter-oriented game down low, and he's got himself to the line a couple times as a result.
Yeah, Okike's got that middle all to himself, trying to, like you said, guard a couple of big guys. Then keep running tall people in there.
Yeah, no one bigger than 6'1" out there for Jonesboro, save Dubem Okike.
Tipped out of bounds. Jonesboro having trouble getting the inbounds.
Miller Grove, meanwhile, is 6 foot, 6'4", 6'8", 6'6", 6'9".
Wow.
So huge edge. Speaking about height.
They finally get the ball in bounds with 1:40 to go in the half, and Peace will bring it across the line. Picked up by Colvin. And now it looks like the Wolverines are in a man-to-man. Piece to Walker. Walker spins out. Here's Petty with it now. Going up against Kristen Houston. Trying to get a block from Okike. Goes the other way with it. Finds himself trapped in the lane and has to kick it back out. Okike's trying to do a pick and roll. And instead, a strong take and a charge. Cameron Sutton.
Yeah, good job there by the senior. I believe it was Tony Evans who drew that. Good job giving up the body by Mr. Evans. And you saw in that last play, Miller Grove electing to go back to that tight man-to-man defense. So switching it up from zone to man-to-man to try to confuse Jonesboro a little bit, prevent them from getting into any sort of groove.
Inside of the big man, Parker off balance, just sort of throws it at the rim and it goes in.
Yeah, but it's such a soft, sweet touch. He gets the roll, even when, like you said, he throws it up off balance.
Final 37 seconds here in the half. Let's see if Jonesboro plays for the last shot. Down by 8 here. It looks like that's the plan. Sutton's going to just hold it out there. Morris will let him do it. Here they go on the floor. And Morris just envelops that shot. Patrick Petty ends up on the deck.
Yeah, blocked that ball. It looked like almost with his chest. About as high as Brandon Morris got. Definitely got 2 hands on that basketball. Anytime you can block it with 2 hands, you're up pretty high.
Another drive to the hoop. That one's blocked by Parker. Long pass ahead. Boy, Parker blew that one. They had a chance. And he panicked, didn't know the clock exactly, and the half will run out. 26-18, Miller Grove with an 8-point lead as we go to the break. We'll be right back with our second half.
Here's your first half scoring for Jonesboro. Cameron Sutton with 8 points. Patrick Petty and Daniel Peace have 4 points each. Cedric Nevers with 2 points. For Miller Grove, Tony Parker with 12 points. Justin Coleman and Brendan Morris have 5 points each. Tony Evans with 4 points. Personal fouls for Jonesboro. Brandon Black and Daniel Peace have 2 fouls each. Cameron Sutton, Okike, and Cedric Nevers with 1 foul each. For Miller Grove, Tony Parker with 1 foul. The Georgia Labor Membership Corporation is proud to present the annual GHSA Cooperative Spirit Sportsmanship Award to regional winners throughout the state. GHSA, lighting the way. During natural disasters, the men and women of the Georgia Army National Guard save lives, protect property, and bring hope. Earn an extra paycheck, develop career skills, and get money that can help you pay your college. Be part of this unique force. Visit NationalGuard.com today. GTV Sports was televised Friday's finals live on Georgia Public Broadcasting and on the web at gtv.org/basketball and GHSA.tv. GTV, your home for high school sports. Medical and athletic training coverage is provided by Sports Medicine South of the Gwinnett Medical Center. The Gwinnett Medical Center, the Hospital of Gwinnett, deserves offering a wide array of high-quality medical services for high school athletes. Sports Medicine South of Dr. Gary Littlewood, Atlanta's orthopedic and sports medicine specialist, is the official medical provider for the GHSA. Georgia Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance is the official awards presenter of the GHSA. With offices in every Georgia county, Farm Bureau stands ready to serve you with home-line insurance products and a host of other medical benefits. At Farm Bureau, helping you is what we do best. The official basketball of the GHSA is provided by Wilson. Wilson for win. Verizon is the official mobile phone provider of the GHSA. Verizon, America's largest and most reliable high-speed wireless network. Become a fan of the GHSA on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at official GHSA for the latest news, playoff information, final scores, and more. Gatorade is the official sports drink of the GHSA. Gatorade Series rules your body before, during, and after. The United States Marine Corps is proud to support the GHSA State Basketball Championships. To take the chin-up challenge uses U.S. Marine booth located in the arena concourse. The few, the proud, the Marines. Sports Authority is the sporting goods retailer of the GHSA. Visit their local store or go online to find everything Regions Bank is proud to support the GHSA and the Regions Bank Directors Cup, which recognizes top school athletic programs across the state. Semifinal round of the single basketball tournament is taking place today in Gwinnett. We have the finals for the girls' game. It was Westfield 55, Taylor County 40, and SACA 68, Charlton County 39. In the early boys' game, Athens Christian 46, Center County 44. The game going on right now is David. Whitfield County versus Lanier County. Coming up tomorrow at the arena is the 5A semifinals for girls lacrosse versus the
And ready to start the second half here. Our final game of the day. Quad A semifinals. Southwest DeKalb girls won. Southwest DeKalb boys won. Miller Grove girls won. And now Miller Grove boys trying to win. And they have a lead 26-18 over Jonesboro as we start the second half.
But I think the Cardinals of Jonesboro have done a lot of what they've set out to do. They've sped up the pace of the game. They've certainly got out in transition and scored. If there's anything they can improve on, it's limiting those second chance Miller Grove points. A lot of offensive rebounds for the Wolverines, and it has paid dividends here in that first half.
A three-pointer won't go from Cameron Sutton. And Miller Grove pressure in the backcourt, but they're able to get it across. Christian Houston breaks that two-man press. There's Evans with it. Cross-court pass. Down and, underneath to the big man. Challenge, but still gets it up and over. Okike and Tony Parker now with 14 points.
Great job showing there. Crossing the paint, getting himself open. A good low post position. Looking for a shot on that play was Tony Parker, and got himself and his team an easy basket as a result.
There's Peace with it. Gives way to Sutton. Cameron. 8 points in that first half. And here's Patrick Petty underneath. Okike just didn't want to take a shot. He had Tony Parker hovering over him and tried to give it away.
And he thought John Walker was cutting underneath the hoop. Fortunately, John Walker didn't think he was cutting underneath the hoop.
10-point lead for Miller Grove. Morris with it. Bounce pass inside. Turnaround. Tip no good. Parker gets it back. Left hand, count that one. Evans missed the short one, but Parker able to follow up and get it in there. Tony was 16.
Yeah, big, strong, good rebounding position, but also showed the ability to get back up. 2 jumps there and was able to get up in the air quickly for that second offensive rebound.
And a quick handoff to Okike, and he's going to end up at the free throw line. You have to feel for him having to guard all those big guys by himself in the low post. Free throw. Looks a little awkward. Doesn't get there. We have him listed at 6'8". They get the rebound on the missed free throw. Cardinals driving the hoop. Nice drive, but cannot finish. Ball still loose. The Wolverines come out of there with it. Need some help. Nice play along the sideline. Oh, wow. Such athleticism by number 11, Justin Colvin. Doesn't pay off in a bucket, though.
Yeah, Antonio Evans had Tony Parker wide open there underneath the hoop. Failed to see him or get him the basketball.
Walker finish it, and then we have a foul in the backcourt on Patrick Petty. They'll try to trap up top. And look what happens. They commit to the trap, and Morris is free for the slam.
Yeah, great look there from Tony Parker. Drew 3 defenders down low on that play, and as a result, Morris was wide open for the dunk.
Nice little jump hook from Okike, but it doesn't work out. Morris hit from behind, calls a timeout, and scrambles for the basketball. Let's take a look at that last bit of passing and see the trap coming. They get through it, and nice passing, just back and forth. Boom.
Good look from the big man. Kind of seen it all tonight. A couple big dunks, a lot of rebounding going on down low by Tony Parker. We've seen that feathery touch on the mid-range jumper, and that time he showed the ability and willingness to share the wealth. Like to see Okeke make Parker run. Try to tire him out in the transition game. The problem is there's really no one else to rebound the basketball for Jonesboro, and Okeke's so stuck to the paint under the rim that it's hard for him to get out in the open court and run. Otherwise, he probably would.
The inbound, Houston showing some nifty footwork. Did a little moonwalk in the backcourt. On the attack, Morris has it, takes it back out to Houston, and they'll reset the offense. Morris puts it on the floor, crossover dribble, spin move, left hand, almost gets it to fall, draws the contact.
He showed great footwork, quickness, and body control on that dribble penetration, and then a continuation on the spin move. Great basketball play from Brandon Morris.
The lefty will go to the free throw line. I believe he has 7 points by my tally so far.
Good size and length for that small forward position on the next level.
Nettles checks in, and John Walker will take a seat. And it's a 13-point lead. Miller Grove up 33-20. Three-point attempts, off back iron, rebound, quickly ahead. 1-on-1, 1-on-2, and the lead could not handle it. Tried to get cute. Evans to Morris, and Morris just couldn't bring it down. And 2 shots for Brandon Morris. Can't get the first one to creep over the front rim.
It's always lonely at the foul line, but even more lonely at this.
Huddled at half court, waiting for you to handle your business. So the Wolverines get another point, and they also get possession of the basketball. Colvin's going to trigger the inbound. All the starters still in there for Miller Grove. And that's the simplest play they have in the book. Lob it up to Parker, but he couldn't finish.
Yeah, we so often see high school teams struggle on that out of bounds play, but when you have Tony Parker and you can just toss it up, it makes it a whole lot easier. Should have finished there. Should have Parker.
And then a foul on the arm. I believe that was Parker, got whistled for it. Cameron Sutton with a nice drive to the hole. Just 2 on him, though, so he's okay.
And just 2 points in the third quarter for Jonesboro. Have a tough time staying in this game if you can't get more at the offensive end. Tough to slow down the offense of Miller Grove. Got to stay with them.
Sutton misses that one too, so he had a chance to cut into that lead, didn't work out for him, and Morris will bring it up. Gets airborne, gives it away. Here's Parker inside, double team, kicks it back out. Back they go. Parker fade away, drains it. That was a big time shot.
You see shots like that, and you wonder why Miller Grove doesn't explore the post with Parker on literally every possession down the floor.
There's a three-pointer, tipped out. The Wolverines want to run. Now they'll slow it down. Houston with it.
And they have
Here's
no
Morris.
answer.
Backing in, spinning off the glass.
I think they just like to spread the wealth. You look at a play like this, Parker has such an advantage in the post.
Oh, yeah.
Over the unfortunate Brandon Black, number 30, 6'4" junior. And I'm telling you, they just want to make it harder on themselves, maybe a bit more fun, because they could pound that ball down low to Parker all night.
Yep. Morris continues to struggle from the free throw line. Plenty of opportunities. He's cost himself some points here. 36-20, though. It may not matter.
It's a skill in and of itself, though, just getting himself to the line with that kind of regularity. Like you said, they've got to connect when you're there.
Leaves that one short, too. So the Cardinals back on the attack. Inside they go. Every shot is challenged. Parker over the top, and they'll say a jump ball situation. And possession arrow goes towards the Wolverines. Parker and little Cedric Nettles caught up in a jump ball situation.
Yeah, you said it, 4 looks at the hoop on that one possession for Jonesboro, but every single one of them was contested by a Miller Grove defender.
And now foul on Houston for trying to clear out and get free for the inbounds. So Jonesboro gets the basketball back. And they'll trigger it in. Down by 16 here with 3.5 to play in the third quarter. Nice take, but rejected. Colvin sends that one into the support.
Again, it's all about the length. Colvin beat by Patrick Petty on that play. Petty using his quickness to get around the slightly slower Colvin, but Colvin's 5 inches made up the difference.
And a turnover by Walker. Miller Grove gets it back. Just a much taller team. Here's a breakaway pass, tipped, and Parker ends up with it. This may not go well for Jonesboro, but a good job by Okeke to defend that one. And the Cardinals back on the attack. Runner won't go. Ball knocked around. 1-on-2. They lost a handle, but Okeke knocks it out of bounds. So the Wolverines a little impatient on that one. And you can see Tony Parker telling them just that. Slow it down. Set the offense. Let's get some buckets.
It's another example, though, of Miller Grove creating or trying to create offense via their defense, and they've played just about as good a defensive quarter as we've seen all day.
Evans, nice take, can't finish. Loose ball comes out to Parker, and he gets hit on the arm on the jump shot. John Walker got him on the elbow.
Again, just 2 points scored in this quarter by the Cardinals.
Miller Grove has missed at least 6 free throws. Here's Parker. Knocks his down.
Well, you got to get excited. Anytime you see a guy who's 6'9", about 230, 240, stands Tony Parker. Anytime a guy that size has the skill and finesse, the ability to step out, knock down that jumper, also connect at the free throw line, guys like that are awfully tough to stop.
Jonesboro down by 17. They need some three-pointers in a hurry here. Wolverines trying to win their 4th consecutive state title. And there's Parker with the rejection. And it went off Jonesboro. Add insult to that one.
Tremendous footwork there to stay with Cameron Sutton. Tony Parker, and of course, has the height to send that ball out of bounds, but the foot speed and the lateral quickness for a guy that size, awfully impressive on that play.
Morris breaks the press single-handedly, and now he's just going to go straight into the hoop. Finally gets challenged, and they'll foul him with 2:22 to go in the quarter.
And Jonesboro's players look awfully frustrated out there now. A lot of arguing going on between them. Clearly a defensive assignment missed on that play, as Miller Grove easily broke the press.
There's Morris again. See if he can get those free throws figured out. Got that one to rattle in. 38-20. Make it 39. And again, just 2 points in the quarter for the Cardinals. 2:20 to go. Peace with it. Goes back to Petty. Try to dump it inside. That was picked off. Wolverines want to run. Inside, here's trickery with Morris. Not sure what he wanted to do there. Ends up drawing the foul. And then somebody got teed up. I think it might have been Morris.
Well, based on Tony Parker's reaction, it was definitely Morris. Although I didn't see him say anything, but Tony Parker, you gotta love that. Good veteran leadership. He said, "That's so dumb," to his teammate. No need to give away points with a nice 19-point cushion here with 2 minutes to play in the third.
Knocks it down.
Subs
coming in.
Prior to that, Okiki bails Morris out there, sort of tangled up, didn't know what he wanted to do on that play. It looked like he was trying to throw a behind the back pass. Either way, he was all tied up, and Okiki sort of bailed him out there.
Second free throw coming for Brandon Morris. And he hits it.
Jonesboro's got to not only start scoring, but they've got to step it up defensively too. Hard to cut into a significant deficit when the other team's living at the free throw line like they have here in the third quarter.
Yeah, they really need to put full court pressure on, try to get some turnovers going. Trying to go inside. That didn't work out. Brandon Black was underneath, but he was well covered, and Parker got a hand on that one. Nowhere to go, and now they go inside. Blocked underneath the board. Ball loose, and then the foul committed by Black. Brandon doing all he can in there, but he's just not tall enough. 1:45 to go here in our third quarter. And Miller Grove has doubled up Jonesboro, 41-20. Outscored him 15-2 here in the second half.
I was going to say, even had Jonesboro held Miller Grove scoreless in this third quarter, they'd be trailing by 6.
Missed free throw and ahead of the pack. Oh, what a play by Justin Colvin with the strip. Miller Grove's just having fun now. Pass or a shot off the glass, no good. And Jonesboro back on the attack, baseline. Nice shot up off the glass, blocking foul, and one. So that's a positive thing. Coach Mailman excited about that.
Kyrie Hamer trying to get into the action, saw him throw up that runner in the lane on the other end of the court, and that time was fouled for the called for the blocking foul.
You see the drive here, and up and off the glass. Nicely done.
Looked like he got set, got good position, but wasn't entirely committed to taking that charge. Had he stuck with it, I think it would have at the very least been a no call.
Petty able to convert the three-point play, but it's still an 18-point deficit. The Cardinals call a timeout here with 1:12 to go in the quarter.
And you got to talk about defense specifically in this third quarter for Miller Grove. We've said it a couple times now, just 5 points scored in the quarter for Jonesboro. What an effort defensively it's been. This team trying to win a 4th consecutive state championship. And when you consider they start 4 seniors, that means these guys don't even know what it's like.
Every time out,
to not only play in a state championship, but to win it.
Yep. 3 rings for all of them.
In 3 years. I mean, it's a pretty cool perspective.
Trying to get a 4th. Westover, the last team to win 4 straight back in the early 90s. 5th straight time that Miller Grove has been to the Final Four. And like you said, really haven't been challenged. New Manchester and Loganville didn't challenge them. Marist gave them a pretty good battle, but they pulled away from the War Eagles there at the end, won by 9. And this is a team that's played at the Oak Hill Academy up there, mouth of Wilson. You know what a squad that is. That they beat Oak Hill beat them by 4.
Well, you said it. At one point in this season, this Miller Grove team had lost 5 consecutive games. Now, if you're watching them tonight, you've got to find that hard to believe, but it's true. You pointed out they all came out of state. In fact, Chambly's the only team from Georgia to beat Miller Grove this year. Did so 56-54, so that was a close 2-point battle.
Miller Grove driving, kick out. That's a sloppy play. And now they've got numbers for the Cardinal. Nice left-handed finish for Peace. So the Cardinals getting a little momentum here as the quarter's going to come to an end. 37 seconds to go.
But did they dig too big of a ditch for themselves to get out of?
Here's another turnover. And a good play. Boy, I am impressed by Justin Colvin's athletic ability.
Well, and his hustle defensively. So many times that you've pointed out his athleticism. They've been examples of him hustling back and getting back defensively, specifically on that play.
Final 23 seconds here. See if the Cardinal try to work for a good shot. There's a 3, kind of fading away, off the mark. And we got a push from behind. Tony Evans had the ball.
There should be more free throws, too.
Yep.
Not a smart foul. Just 6 seconds left in the quarter.
I believe that's 10 fouls now on Jonesboro, which means 2 shots coming up for Tony. A nice looking rotation on that one. Kind of came knuckling out of there and off the back iron. See if Tony can clean it up here for the second one. Final 6 seconds here. Cardinals trying to get off a shot, and they do. Almost went in. Good effort by Petty, but it doesn't happen for him. So final 8 minutes coming up. Miller Grove up 41-25. We'll take a break. Fourth quarter getting underway here. Miller Grove will trigger the inbounds and throw it away. They've got a 16-point lead, 8 minutes to go until another trip to the final game. Jonesboro trying to make something happen, down by 16. A lot of motion in the offense. There's a 15-footer up short, but a rebound. Stick back is good. Way to stay with it, Cameron Sutton. Another 2 points for him.
Jonesboro is going to have to play a smart, disciplined fourth quarter. Already in the penalty, already 10 fouls.
Nice leave inside for the big man Parker, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Great dump down pass, but like I was saying, any foul from here on out will reward Miller Grove with 2 shots, so it's going to be tough to cut into this 14-point deficit.
Tony Parker again has not decided where he's going to go to school, but he is a definite D1 player in a top program.
He's down to UCLA, Kansas, Duke, and Ohio State, with most considering Duke the front runner. And why not play for Mike Krzyzewski given the chance?
Goes 1 for 2 on his free throws there. 15-point lead for Miller Grove Wolverines. Playing tough man-to-man defense. Nice take, but another rejection. Cardinals keep it alive, though. Here's a long three-pointer, and that goes. Patrick Petty with a big shot. We got a big collision over here. Officials step in there.
Good job of separating the 2 players there.
Yep.
Temper starting to flare a bit, as you'd expect in a hotly contested Final Four rematch.
I think Tony Evans is going to end up shooting some free throws here. He ended up getting tripped.
Well, that's what's going to make this comeback attempt so difficult. We talked about them being the Cardinals already in the penalty. Anytime you have a big deficit, you're going to play aggressive pressure defense, try to force the steals, and with that usually comes a lot of fouls. Not a problem if you're not in the penalty, but could be a long 4th quarter.
The officials talking to the 2 head coaches over there, making sure their players' heads are in the right place. And Houston's going to end up shooting the free throws.
Of course, Patrick Petty hits that big 3, and it's a big one for him because he was dynamic early on in that 1st quarter and awfully quiet ever since. 2nd and 3rd quarters were not good ones for Petty. If they can get him going again, perhaps they can make a game of this.
And it will be Evans who shoots the free throw.
Your knuckleballer.
Yeah. He spins that one home, Frisbee style. And another one. That one does not rattle home for him. So I think Miller Grove keeps possession here. Miller Grove breaks the press. Evans kicked outside. Coleman had it for a second. Now back up top to Houston. One little clock, 6:40 to go in the ball game. 43-30. Inside, Evans finishes nicely. Used the rim to get away from Okeke and got it in there.
Well, and a great job of coming back to the basketball by Tony Parker, bailing his teammate out and then dumping that one down low for the easy hoop for Evans.
And Petty hits another big 3. But then we got a foul over the back. Houston breaking the press. And there you see Petty just kind of lulls his man to sleep and lets it fly from about 22 feet, knocks it in.
Yeah, a nice quick pull up, a little isolation one-on-one basketball. And we talked about how important Patrick Petty is to Jonesboro's offensive output. Need him to get going here in the 4th quarter. 21 points per game this season, 6 here in the 4th. Not many in that 2nd or 3rd, though, when Jonesboro digged itself a big hole to come back from.
Well, Jonesboro still fighting. Down by just 12. They can hit a couple more threes, get a couple of stops. Who knows what's going to happen? But you got to feel that Miller Grove needs to just settle down and go inside and let their big men handle their business.
Yeah, that's the key, is getting stops for Jonesboro. They'll score and ignite their offense if they can get stops, because it'll allow them to get out in transition, maybe get a couple of easy baskets, a couple of looks at transition threes. But you said it, no reason if you're Sharman White and Miller Grove to not get that ball down low to Tony Parker. No one has been able to stop him all night. At the very least, you're going to get yourself high percentage looks and the chance to get to the foul line. No reason to not explore the post just about every time down the floor.
So a couple of free throws coming up for Christian Houston. Nicely done. 46-33 the score. And the second one drops in for him too. Here comes Jonesboro, now down by 14 again. And in a bad pass, knocked away by Colvin again. Peace trying to get it over there to his other guard, Petty. Peace thought about a three, splits the defense out to Petty, wanted to fire at the three. They got him covered up this time. Peace, little stop and go dribble. There's an open three. Front iron, no good. Rebound to Morris. Let's see what the Wolverines do if they try to slow things down. Well, they go right inside, and Houston able to get it, the teardrop over Okeke for the 2 points. There's a nice split lead for three, and that one did not go. Patrick Petty has had the dead eye here as of late, but missed that one. There's a pull up. Didn't get himself set, did Coleman. They probably should have pulled that one back out.
Yeah, absolutely no reason to force that shot or speed up that possession.
Uh-oh, look out rim. Boom. Parker just dips that one without anyone contesting him, and it's 51-33. There's a three-pointer off the mark. Tony with another rebound. And now Wolverines are having fun. Evans squeezes that one over the rim, and it's back up to a 20-point lead.
Yeah, his complaint on that play, the ball wasn't high enough.
There's a nice drive up and in by Daniel Peace, and the Cardinals are going to call a timeout here.
I wish I'd experienced days like that.
Yeah.
Complaining to my teammate that the ball wasn't thrown high enough on the alley-oop.
I could only get the one hand on it to jam it, as opposed to the two.
Well, not to get ahead of ourselves, still almost 5 minutes left in this game, but an 18-point deficit will be a tough one for Jonesboro to overcome should this game play out and Miller Grove move on. Looking at a awfully interesting matchup in that 4A final between Southwest DeKalb and Miller Grove. Most specifically, though, two really intriguing matchups. One out on the perimeter, Brandon Morris, and of course Jordan Price, who was awfully impressive earlier tonight. And then the two bigs will no doubt do battle with Shaq Goodwin and Tony Parker. So a lot to see from an individual player standpoint in that final.
Well, Shaq's going to have to play better than he did in the game one tonight.
No doubt about it.
Tony Parker will eat him alive.
But he'll probably be a lot more focused knowing he's got to go up against big number 32. Imagine he'll bring his A game on Friday.
Evans floats it in. Here's Parker. Handles it and dunks it over Okeke, who just had no answer.
Well, now we've seen it all from Parker. If there's anything we hadn't seen, it was quick, aggressive explosion. And explode he did right over the top of 6'8" Dubem Okeke. And that's as explosive and as athletic as we've seen Tony Parker tonight.
Parker handles it and just goes right over Okeke, and then poor Okeke gets called for the offensive goaltend here. There's a nice steal. And a three-pointer off the mark. Evans gets the rebound. Throws it ahead and get twisted backwards as Morris. He'll end up with some free throws. So 4:08 to go. Miller Grove's lead is 20 points. Morris goes back to the line.
For a little perspective, Jonesboro's scored less than 50 points just 8 times all year. They're at 35 tonight.
I have no doubt that that is a season low. But still 4 minutes to go, and they're launching threes, obviously. So that could change. Again, Morris inconsistent from the free throw line. 56-35. There's a nice take, and drawing the foul is Daniel Peace.
As much as Jonesboro has struggled at this end of the floor tonight, it's really been their defense that has let them down. Team that relies so much on transition baskets has not been able to get enough stops here.
Yep, good point guard play by Houston. And Colvin's made some great plays, and you get it inside to the big guys and just let them do what they need to do. And Miller Grove lost focus a couple of times, but I think they're going to end up being okay. There's an interception and back the other way. And cannot finish, though. Another rebound for Miller Grove, and then another throwaway. Colvin with a couple of turnovers there in a row. Steal by Houston, back the other way. And then just gets silly as a 1-on-3, throws it up against the glass. I think Miller Grove's going to call a timeout here pretty soon. Up and in, a three-point opportunity here for Patrick Petty.
Good smart play, taking that ball into Tony Parker rather than trying to go up and over him. Took it into his body, initiated that contact to get himself to the line, and then did a good job of absorbing the contact and finishing. He's had himself a good fourth quarter as Patrick Petty.
Jonesboro with the timeout. 56-39 the score as Petty converts the three-point play. 3:26 to go. Miller Grove looking to advance and join the Lady Wolverines in the final, who won earlier tonight, beat Alcovy. And their opponent, too, will be Southwest DeKalb. And like you said, good matchup of some players that are going to play at the next level.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Really sort of got away from Jonesboro in the third quarter tonight. In fact, it was only an 8-point game at the half and could have been closer. This fourth quarter's been relatively competitive, but boy, in the third,
yep,
Miller Grove dominated, and that, I think, is the trademark of a really good team, a well-coached one, the ability to come out, make adjustments, and capitalize on those halftime discussions. But also to say this is the quarter we can really extend our lead and put this game away, and they did it like a veteran-laden team should. Again, 5 seniors in this starting lineup, so could be a rough year in 2012.
It may be. Sharman White's going to have to rebuild, but
he'll be tested as a coach.
Pressure coming, and another turnover. They don't handle it well. And I think Jonesboro's going to get the basketball again.
Well, only if the refs make the wrong call, they will. Yeah, I think that went off Jonesboro either way. We'll stay with Cardinals.
Petty wants to launch a three. Now he goes cross court, and there is a three off the front iron. Cardinals get it back. Petty will launch this one and drain it. Boy, he's got a nice shot. Now it's just a 14-point lead. Pressure all over Wolverines in the backcourt. Miller Grove forced to call a timeout. Houston had nowhere to go with that ball. Exactly 3 minutes to go here, and a 14-point lead for Miller Grove. And you'll see the replay here.
A beautiful looking shot. Nice high release point.
Yep, and Petty has had a
through.
bunch of those tonight.
Haven't seen too many three-point shot attempts from Miller Grove. Probably a good thing when you've got the size and strength down low.
Yep.
The Wolverines have. Why settle for lower percentage shots?
Such an advantage inside. Here's the inbounds, and that's nearly thrown away.
It's amazing the consistency with which teams struggle inbounding the basketball on the high school level. No matter how good they are.
Well, they figured that one out. It's a pass inside to Parker, who finishes nicely with the left hand. And that's how you break the press. There's another three-point attempt. I don't think he got his feet set on that one, did Petty. Ball still being knocked around out by the top of the key. Evans takes it inside and drops it through. Excuse me, Peace with the score. Miller Grove a little sloppy, but another open bucket. And up and in. Provost gets his bucket. And it's still 16 points here. Jonesboro unable to make a lot of headway. There's a nice pass inside and then dribbled off the foot but saved. Jonesboro trying to get it. In line for a three-pointer and a charge.
Just forced the issue there. And good lateral quickness, good footwork there from Devontae Provost. You know, it's funny, Dave, we talked a lot early on about how a fast-paced game definitely was preferable.
And up and over the scorers table goes Cameron Sutton, but he's all right.
Still giving his all. He's number 23. We mentioned, though, that Jonesboro definitely preferred the faster pace style of play. Though this second half has been about as fast as any we've seen, and Miller Grove only extended its lead. So while preferable, it certainly hasn't been the answer, because Miller Grove, it turns out, is just more athletic and just as quick.
And there's that size coming into play again. Parker just posted up on the low block. A lob in for the two easy ones. 18-point lead.
Point is, the Wolverines can beat you in a lot of different ways, whether it's down low with size or perimeter quickness and athleticism with Houston and Colvin.
There's the runner, nice. Up and in. Give the bucket to DeAndre Mack, the freshman. Again on the run out, and the throw down from Parker, from Brandon Morris.
Neither team slowing down. Surprised to see Miller Grove not slow it down here.
A 2-on-1 now for the Wolverines. And finally, Colvin gets the flush.
Turning into a layup line or a dunk fest here late.
Yep. Jonesboro looking to launch some threes. That's an open one. That one rims out. Colvin grabs a long rebound and gets it off to Houston. Final minute here. And nearly thrown away, but saved. And Morris thinks better of going in on the rim, and he's going to dribble some time off the clock. And for his efforts, gets the ball stolen. Final 30 seconds. There's a three-point attempt. No good. Houston's got it. Ahead to Colvin. Takes a couple of steps and drops it in. There's a nice three-point effort.
Well, Miller Grove was every bit the favorite we thought they were, and maybe even more.
Yep. And it just comes down to size in the middle.
Dominating performance from Tony Parker, but really from the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5. They've in a big way, the Wolverines beat Jonesboro at just about every position.
And for the final 7 seconds, everybody coming off the bench. Some freshmen are going to get some playing time here.
Next year's team.
Yep.
Everyone but Colvin will get a break. Of course, you can't sub out a guy at the line.
Donaldson gets in there. Some other guys who aren't listed on the program will get some playing time. I'm sorry. Kyrie Hamer gets in there. That's a long team. Kyle Wallace in there. James Walker on the floor now.
Looks like Earl Bryant's out there as well. My favorite name on the roster.
Final shot, and that'll do it. 70-49, the final score. Miller Grove moving on to the finals, and will again be matched up against Southwest DeKalb girls and boys for the Quad A state titles.
Just a dominating performance from Miller Grove all around, and boy, I can't wait to see the big-time matchup down low. Shaq Goodwin will get his chance to meet Tony Parker in 2 days' time.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching. I'm David Hubbard for Scott Janovitz. You've been watching GHSA Network Basketball.